Hello, everyone. I'm Keisha Sharp Jefferson, and I wanted to bring you a weekly dose of inspiration. And I wanted to talk to you about a movie that I'd seen recently. I'd seen Frozen 2 recently. And I will not give you the details for those who have not had the opportunity to see it. But I love the fact of how they actually take these cartoons and they use these cartoons and provide messaging not only for the children, but the parents and other people who will subsequently see them, like aunties who babysit their nieces and nephews who want to watch Frozen 2 over and over and over again. But I digress. But anyway, there are some themes in Frozen that are pretty cool. And one of the themes that surfaces is when life hits you with difficult circumstances, what do you do? Well, it was a phrase that kept coming up over and over again. Do the next right thing. Okay, and I may be paraphrasing there, but do the next right thing. And I tell you, when you see items like that, you never really know how you're going to have to apply it to life. But I can tell you when you get a message that is that huge, and when you get a message that has that the depth of the ramifications or the depth of the implications that it does, you know that at some point you're likely going to have to apply that yourselves. And again, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened in the movie, but again, the theme, do the next right thing. That's where I want to stick a pin in today and just tell you that life will deal you some circumstances sometimes that will be very difficult. You'll be tempted to be shaken at your very core. You'll be tempted to give up. You'll be tempted to be discouraged, be angry with those around you, be accusational, accuse others. You'll be tempted in that moment to do everything that will convey anger, to do everything that will convey a victim mentality. But I love the fact that in watching the movie, there was a particular instance in which one of the characters was faced with seeing something so horrible, so tough, but she rallied up in her strength to say, you know what? This situation is tough. This situation does not look favorable. This situation threatens to rock the very existence of who I am. Come on, somebody. But you know what? I choose to get up and just take the next step. Boy, how I've had to apply that in my own life. Just recently, I have a pet. I'm sort of like a new mom to a dog. I grew up with lots of dogs thanks to my dad, but never had dogs. I've always been like a cat owner, and recently we were blessed to be able to adopt this little precious little dog named Alexis, and we just had an emergency, at our home recently. We had to end up taking Alexis, taking her to the doctor or whatever, and I'm telling you, at that moment, I had a couple of things that I still needed to do for the evening, and at that very moment, I mean, you literally have to drop everything in that moment. You have to go and take care of that matter at hand because it is urgent, okay? It is urgent. But after you do the necessary thing, after we were able to take Alexis to the doctor, we had to muster up the strength, my husband and I, to say, you know what? She's in the medical professional's hand right now. They kept her overnight and everything, and Alexis is fine, just to give you that update. But in that moment, it threatened so much. Watching a movie didn't quite feel the same because we're accustomed to her being here. Getting up didn't quite feel the same because, you're accustomed to Alexis being here and you're having to walk her and do all of that stuff. The house is kind of quiet because you're accustomed to her being here and she is not. And all of that to say, what happens when you are faced with those circumstances and situations? And the only thing I can tell you is to do the next right thing. It's not negligent to have to go. In fact, this incident happened on March 3rd, and I had not voted by the time this happened. So after I took her to the doctor, I waited to hear from them. I needed to go and I needed to vote because why? That is a responsibility that I face. My husband had to get ready for something the next day. So we came back home and we just kind of utilized that time while she was, in the doctor's care to kind of take care of some things. I needed to write that evening. I needed to take care of some things in terms of planning. I needed to journal for this exercise that I'm participating in. Got up the next day and decided, I'm going to start recording my videos because I've put this off long enough. And although I am saddened, and although I want my pet to feel better, and I want my pet to be whole and to be healed, I'm talking about in that moment, I have to do the next right thing. And I'm just telling you and encouraging you, when life deals you tough blows, get up, don't stay down. You pray about it. You can fast about it if you'd like. You can call some other people and talk to them about it if that helps you to kind of process your emotions. But at the end of the day, at some point, you're going to have to get up and do the next right thing, because that next right step is going to continue to produce right steps for you in your life. And I tend to think there are circumstances and challenges that come to all of us to prevent us from doing that. My husband mentioned, he said, I needed to study for an exam. And he said, as a result of this happening, I kind of got derailed. And I said, I understand that you did. But sometimes these circumstances come to try and derail us. But again, all of us, myself included, have to get up and do the next right thing, because what you're going to learn and what you will see is that productivity, accomplishing some things, doing some things, getting out of a pity party, it actually helps you heal. It actually helps you process your emotions of that emergency or urgent situation. It helps you process a little bit better. So that's my message, borrowed from the movie Frozen 2. There's so many people who've talked about it, and I actually heard some chatter from one of my Facebook friends, so it piqued my curiosity. So as a result of piquing my curiosity, I went and I saw the movie, and guess what? The movie and one of its themes is actually making it into one of my videos. So I am Keisha Sharp Jefferson, and I'm encouraging you to not only remember that it is possible to move on after a catastrophic or an urgent event, even that event that's heart-shattering. It's possible. Process your emotions. You don't ignore them. But in the midst of it, get up. And if that next right step is to talk to someone, if that next right step is to pray, if that next right step is to go to work, if that next right step is to get some help, whatever it is, do